Meantime, as the weather warms up, more of you are headed to the beach. And if the beach is in your plans, be aware, red tide is knocking on Southwest Florida's door and has been for quite some time. You can see it here, turning the water from blue to green. Wink News anchor Liz Byro got a sky-high view of the large persistent bloom that's creating problems all along our coastline.
See, the red tide goes for many miles further out into the Gulf. For the last week, I mean, it's been right on the surface, and it's bright orangish red color.
Ralph Arwood, a pilot and environmentalist, took me on a flight from Naples to Boca Grande to check on the lingering red tide. Saturday afternoon, the worst of it sat 10 miles off Cayo Costa. The bloom stained the water and went on for miles.
If wildlife gets stuck in the middle of this, it's got a long way to go to get to clean water.
For fish, red tide kills.
All these specks on the water, is that all?
It's probably dead fish.
For this boater, who we watched enter the bloom, it was likely a painful ride with burning eyes, coughing, and shortness of breath.
Last week there was something like this right along Sanibel and Captiva.
How many algae blooms do you think you've flown over in your time?
Been doing it for 8 years, and there's been some every year. Some years worse than others. This has been the biggest that I've seen. The extent, I mean, it went from Sanibel to 15 miles offshore, one big bloom. So
this was the result of that bloom: dead fish in a Sanibel canal. Rick Bartleson, a research scientist with Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation, showed me the fish kill graveyard. Calls it all concerning.
The patch that was south of us now seems to be west of us, and so it doesn't seem to be moving away or going away very fast.
At what point does this bloom, would we consider this an extended bloom?
Probably by March, if it's still going in March.
Back in the skies looking down, Arwood sees the state of the place he's called home since the 80s. He describes it as aggravating. Red tide isn't new, but
it seems to be more often, and it seems to last longer. A reason to be here is the quality of the living and the quality of the water, and it just keeps getting worse.
And we could be in for a rocky ride if it lingers. From the sky, Liz Byro, Wink News.